Hey guys, so what we're going to do today is we're going to continue on with the series on how to create a more effective practice routine. And the last one we talked about our why, and hopefully you check that out. If not, go check that out. But we're going to review that a little bit here just quickly, and then we're going to go over the next steps. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right to it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to reverse engineer everything. I'm going to start with our why, and then I'm going to step back one and figure out what we need to do to reach our why. Step back another one, and what are we going to do to reach that step? And we keep stepping back all the way until we figure out what the very first step is that you need to take to start working towards your why, your ultimate goal. But before we do that, let's do a little review. Talk about what your why means. Your why is your ultimate goal. Why are you doing all this? And it could be a variety of reasons. It could be maybe you just want to strum some chords around a campfire for fun. Maybe you have a stressful life and you just want to come home and have something that you can just escape, into your room and just jam on some songs, have fun, and forget about the whole day. Just enjoy yourself. It could be that maybe you want to get into a band, become a professional musician. Maybe you do want to get into a band, but as more of a casual thing, on the weekends with friends or people you meet or something. You just no commitments, no worrying about being a pro or anything. You just want to have fun, jam songs with people, and yeah, just have a blast. Or on the other hand, maybe you want to go to music school. It's a whole variety. You got to figure out what that why is, and then that's when you can start to build your plan, and you start doing that by building it in reverse, one step at a time. So step number one is, again, figuring out your why, your ultimate goal. Then step number two is, what is that immediate step that you have to take to reach that goal? What is it that you have to take? No, don't go way down on the list of, a little further down. What's the first steps I have got to take? No, you got to reverse it one step at a time. What is that main step that you need to take to be able to reach your ultimate goal? And then the next thing you do, step number three, what do you need to do to reach that step? What is it that you need to get done to reach step number two? And then you just keep on going down. The next one is, what is it you need to do to reach this step? So what is step number four is, what do you need to do to be able to reach step number three? And you keep doing that. You just keep working backwards until you reach the very first thing you need to get done to start your journey. The very first things you sit down and work on. And so you need to be able to do that. You start your why and just step by step keep working back all the way till you get that very first thing that you need to get done. And it's going to help you really focus in on all the things you need to get done and push out all these random things that maybe later on would be good to work on, but it's not relevant to your goal right now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a quick, very basic overview of this. I'm going to give you an example. And you really want to actually dig into this. Watch this, get the general idea of how this works, and then sit down with pen and paper and work this out step by step. Sink some time into this because this is so important, because this is you have your goal. You're going to figure out what those things are you need to get done to reach your goal. So this is definitely worth your time. It's going to help you in the long run, and you're not going to waste time. You're going to focus on those things that are only relative to your goal, and you're going to push out all the rest of the stuff that's not. You're not going to waste time on that stuff. So let's say your goal is to play in a band on the weekends for fun, whether it's with friends, people you meet, or whatever. You just want to get out and have some fun playing in the band. Maybe have a gig here and there. No pressure. Just having fun. On the weekends. So, what's the first step that you need to take? First step is you need to have a set list of songs that you can play very well. From there, you got to kind of figure out what is it, what's the style of music that you want to play. What kind of songs will be in the set? You got to start thinking about what songs do you like, what songs you think probably other people will, into your same style of music are gonna like. What kind of, if you want to go out and do gigs, what kind of songs you think will be successful when you go out and play somewhere. What are people going to enjoy, you think? And because it's for fun, you don't have to be overly, worried about this. Another thing to keep in mind is, are you going to be a cover band, or are you going to create your own songs? Those two right there can set your list off into a different direction. And so you got to figure all of this out. That's basically step number 2. What songs will these be? Now, underneath each one of these categories, just write out some little subcategories and ask those questions, like I just said. What songs will these be? Are they going to be cover songs? Are they going to be original songs? If they're cover songs, what are the cover songs you think will be really good to play within the band? Now, all the band members you think will probably like, maybe the people listening will like, all the stuff we just talked about. Just make subcategories. Just be as detailed as possible. The more you write down, the better. That's going to help you out. So, you got have a set list of songs you can play well. That's the first step in reverse. What kind of songs will you play? The next one is, okay, so now I got my songs I want to play, whether it's going to be original or cover tunes or whatever. Let's just say that cover tunes for this example. What skills do I need to develop to play these songs? So now you got to really think about it. You can't play these songs yet, but what skills are you going to need to be able to play those songs? And then you got to just ask yourself all kinds of these questions. All right, am I going to need to play all these fancy, 7th and 9th chords, bar chords? Am I going to have to sweep pick and do all this crazy, shredding stuff? Or am I going to be more of a blues kind of a player? What are these songs involve? Are they blues songs? Are they metal songs? Are they jazz songs? Figure out what it is. And of course, you need to learn to play chords and scales. So that's a big one. And that all the stuff I was just saying, you could kind of write those underneath that particular little category. The next step now down is, let's say, you're more of a hard rock player, say. Well, what's pretty prevalent in that style is power chords. And from there, you want to definitely learn your power chords, and maybe you want to start out with your pentatonic scales. So then the next step is, well, what power chords do I need to do? Now again, between here, you could be, all right, I need to learn my how to form my power chords on the E string. I need to form my power chords on the A string. I need to learn how these power chords all fit together. Say if it was original songs you wanted to learn, you need to learn a little bit of the theory behind that. How these chords all fit together, and then pentatonic scales. You're going to want to be able to learn your pentatonic scales all over the neck. And so you can, again, you can expand on each one of these steps and just write down. You can write one big main category and write just as many different steps underneath that you need to do. Just dig right in and figure out every step that you need to take. And then you finally work out to the beginning. All right, so I figured out now that what I need to do to start with is I need to start with learning my open string power chords, my E5, A5, and D5 power chords. And that's what I need to start with, my chords. And then my pentatonic scale, I'm going to learn my A minor pentatonic scale at the 5th fret. And, again, you can go through, you can put the steps in there. I need to be able to pick through them. I need to do hammer-ons, pull-offs. You can add all those little steps in there. But I'd say just set up a general idea, a general outline maybe of each of your steps, and then go back in and underneath each one add some more steps. We did, all right, you start with your ultimate goal, you go down that next step to what you need to do to reach that, and you go down the next step. So think of those your headings. And then you got to go underneath, and what are the different steps that you need to do within that main heading here? What are those things you need to do in that section to be able to reach that? Then you go to your next step you had. What do you need to do in that section? Right? As many different things you need to work on as possible. And then this is going to really help you with keeping focused and getting everything right in there that you need to get done. And you just keep doing that all the way till you figure out your very, very first thing that you need to get done, which in our case was learn your E5, A5, and D5 power chords and your scales. And then you're going to be focused in, because you always want to keep an eye, keep an eye on that goal. Make sure you have that always in mind. And then you're going to focus on those things you really need to work on. So in our example, while it's great to learn how to read music, if you're not going to become a pro musician or anything, that's something you don't really have to worry about. Maybe music theory. Yeah, you want to learn your basic music theory, but you don't have to get into real deep theory. There's these cool little, you might see some classical stuff that's being played, and someone might suggest maybe you should be working on some classical guitar, which is awesome. It's a good side thing, but does that really match up with your goal? Is that something maybe you could either do on the side or you maybe do later? But the whole thing is not to start jumping. Oh, well, I should do classical. Okay, that's going to be part of my routine. Well, jazz is really good. Someone's talking about how learning these jazz chords are be really good. Let me bring that in. Oh, what about this? Melodic minor scales. Oh, they look really cool. And then you start, before you know it, you're adding all this stuff into your routine, and you've got all this stuff in there that is not related to your ultimate goal, being in the band on the weekends for fun. And none of that really relates to that. In a way, sure, it could help you, but that's just kind of, distracting you. And it's going to take you so much longer to get there if you start bringing all this other stuff in there. The key is to really make that plan by reverse engineering and follow that plan. Again, nothing wrong with, all right, on the side, I'm going to work on this a little bit because it seems interesting, or I might work on that a little bit. But you got to keep that to that plan. Everything you do that comes up, is that going to help me with my working towards my goal? Sometimes you might discover something is like, oh, well, that is actually pretty cool. I didn't really think of that. That might relate to my goal, so maybe I will bring that in and insert that. So it's always all about analyzing everything and making sure you stick to your stuff that is related to your goal, and you push out everything else that's not related to it. Again, it's okay to do a little something on the side, but keep your focus on that goal. Otherwise, you could go 10, 20, 30 years, and then you're still not, in this case, playing in the band or anything because you're getting distracted by all this other stuff. So, there you go. There is how to reverse engineer your goal to figure out those first steps. And we'll do another lesson, and then we'll start showing you how to build that routine up, and some techniques on how to get that going, keep you inspired and all that. So hopefully this was a help. If you have any questions at all, then go ahead, leave me a comment, send me a private message, contact me. I'd be happy to help you out in any way. So until next one, have a good one, and happy jamming.